Cities in Space Engineers. Now, it's something we don't get to explore that often, but when we do, they are fantastic. Well, today I'm going to be showing off my own version of a city inside of Space Engineers, and it's the one we use for Space Engineers Conley Alliances, an RP action series that was previously developed here on the Captain Jack YouTube channel. You can go and watch all 28 episodes of the series right now, and a couple more on their way very, very soon, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Hello everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome to Space Engineers. Of course, today we are taking a look at the ancient city that was featured in Space Engineers Conley Alliances. Now, I know many of you are going to be asking questions about the city and what's happening in the series, so we're going to explore them throughout the video. So either look at the chapters down below or watch the whole thing and give it a like and let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, today, yes, we're exploring the city. I was recently working on it as I'm in the middle of developing some new things for the series and finishing it off and doing some cinematics here and there, so I thought it'd be a great time to log in and give you a guide around this and explain some of the things we designed and why we did it and what brings it to life. Now, immediately, I know the first question, so as we get some B-roll on screen right now, some of you are going to say, Jack, this is not a city, it's more like an outpost or just a big building in general. Yes, obviously, it's a bit smaller than what an actual city should be, but obviously, this is Space Engineers. We are limited to what we can create in the video game. So this is technically our version of a city. I know many others have made cities and such, but this we need to be RP capable, highly detailed for sake of cinematics, not like empty buildings and such. So we're going to explore, show some stuff around and what we've done in here to make it cool. Also, yes, we do have the RWI Olympus over here, the helicarrier, which is looking absolutely beautiful. This is a remake of Surge's old helicarrier. I basically rebranded it and changed a few things around. So I'll link the official version of that helicarrier down below. Will we be releasing our version anytime soon? Probably not. And as for the next question, will I be releasing the city on the workshop? Yes, when we're done with the series, so expect that in about a couple of months' time. This version is the closest I can get where things aren't broken, even though there's a fire over there. So I think some of the city may be broken for the sake of it, but yeah, we'll show you around later. Hey everyone, this video is brought to you by the Ridge Wallet, who have kindly sponsored this video. So this is the Ridge Wallet itself, as you can see on screen now. It's really cool. If I hold it in my hand here, you can see it's kind of tiny. Also, you can store cash in the back there, which is one of my favorite features, simply because I'm always carrying a little bit of cash with me, especially in the new environment where cash and card is still being 50-50 in places. But also, it's so slim as well. This is my old wallet for context. It is kind of bulky, as you can see here. And yeah, putting this in your pocket, but putting this in your pocket, much better. You can carry up to 12 cards in this wallet as well, which is fantastic. And you can see I can sort of slide them out, which looks really nice here. And you can basically play with them a little bit and draw them out. So if you're going to pay for something, you draw out your cards. Now, Ridge Wallet is a perfect gift for Father's Day, which is coming up very soon. You can use the link in the video description to check it out. Head over to their website. They've got some fantastic, cool designs in there. Personally, I chose this design, which was absolutely brilliant. Did I mention plus room for cash as well? I think I did, but there you go again. You can see a lovely bit of British money stored on the back there. So once again, a massive thank you to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this. Oh, and one feature, by the way, which I almost forgot to tell you about, is RFID blocking. If using contactless cards, you may have heard in recent years, you can get them swiped by RFID scanners and such if you're traveling around. Well, wallets like these ones actually block it. So if your cards are in here, like mine are, they can't be scanned if they're inside it. So they only get scanned when you take it out, tap and pay for something. You can also use my coupon code for 15% off. Yep, you heard that right. Link in the description, 15% off, and a great gift for Father's Day. Thanks once again for Ridge Wallet for sponsoring this video. So if I quickly fly out a second without hitting the cannon, you can see there's quite a lot of the city to actually explore. So first I think we'll do the hangar tower over here, and we'll try and make our way through things to actually show you what it is. So let's take a look at the main hangar. Well, this is sort of like the sub-hangar in a sense, but it's sort of like an outpost hangar. We've obviously got the RWI Ravens here, which are looking fantastic. We've got sort of an inner working hangar in here, but it's more like a machine shop I envision as, so things will be getting repaired and such, and stuff like that. We've got another landing pad out there as well, and of course we've got one here, which is very nice. It's got the RCSP Wyvern docks in it, all doored up and everything, using sort of like sci-fi blocks here to give it sort of ancient feel, but also the alien technical feel at the same time. There's of course tons of stairways and stuff hidden throughout here, all lit up with armory tables. It is looking pretty cool. And once again, a massive thank you to all the community helpers and the staff team who actually helped me build this city, and work up design. In terms of how we actually design the city, obviously it's based off of Stargate Atlantis, which is the inspiration for the show, of Conley Alliances when I was making the series. I was watching a lot of Atlantis, so I thought, hey, let's make it after Atlantis a little bit. If we come up to a roof here, you can see it's got the CNL dropship, right here on a main sort of topside landing pad. Now, originally this was going to be a comms or relay thing, but we actually stuck it at the top of the atrium tower, the command tower, so we'll explore that in a minute. There was also weapons which are meant to come out here occasionally. However, sometimes these would break and wouldn't work fully, so that's why they're stuck in there. But you can sort of see them. I think there's one hidden somewhere else. I can't remember if it's on this tower, but you can see sort of weapons sticking out of other sections, like here. These things pop out using rotors and pistons, which is really cool. So I might be able to show you some more of them later on. But yeah, so this is the hangar tower. So if we head over via the main bridge, this will lead us sort of back into the atrium sort of display. Sadly, there isn't like a tunnel between this tower and this one. So we've got to head all the way over here. This bridge gives us a great view of the lake sort of outside here, and also any ships passing by. There's a great scene coming up in episode 29 and 30 of us battling on that bridge against certain forces, which is really cool. So we ended up putting a bit of machine shop in here to show like RWI and the Alliance task force have taken over and putting their own machines. And I thought it looked really cool, to be fair. By the way, excuse the sim speed lag. This is obviously a server world, so there's tons of assets in this world right now, and I'm running it on my PC in 4K. As you can imagine, we are lagging quite a bit. Now, here is actually the lower levels of the city. So if I jump down here, we can explore the lower levels. Now, the idea was this was previously sealed off and cut off from people actually exploring it. However, obviously, in the actual episodes, we find the lower levels and then end up exploring what looks to be a very ancient and powerful reactor. And obviously, it turns out there's something darker and deeper hidden down here, which we get to explore through a couple of the episodes and check out. So I'm going to speedrun myself through it right now. If we go all the way through here, we've also got sections which are meant to be buried or damaged, hence what's kind of dark and dingy and not much is going on. Like, you've got control rooms not really working. It was really cool to sort of bring this bit to life, because it's sort of like, the reason I brought this city to life, or this part of it, and I sort of designed it myself, was the idea behind, you know, Stargate Atlantis, where we discover parts of the city which were hidden. We've got obviously walkways broken here, ancient laboratories which were effed up, closed off passageways, stuff like that. It's like mysteries to the city to explore. I really like that vibe personally, because we don't know everything about what's actually going on. Now, if we make our way in here, we sort of get access to the next area. Now, this sort of section will be prominently used in episode 30, which will be due out soon. But also, we got a view of a giant reactor in here. A couple of the community moderators and the film crew put this reactor together. And, like, it doesn't, obviously, it's not actually a reactor because we've got other bits stored around the base. But it just looks really futuristic and really cool. I really like the idea when we have stuff like this, as it sort of brings to life more of what we can do inside of Space Engineers. We're not just using the default blocks. We are building our own random contraptions to make things look super cool. So I really enjoyed having that. I also got giant screens down here as well. Anyway, if you speed along here, armory sections, I think we used these to armor up before. Doorways looking really cool. More sections sort of burnt out and broken. Really like the idea behind these. I think we had a couple of laboratories down here, didn't we? Yeah, we've got a couple of labs in here. Not sure if these are doing much again. I've just got a lag spike there, so maybe I'm loading stuff. Yeah, I think it's just screens and like random stuff in here, so we never did anything with it. But obviously down here is one of our main sort of central rooms, which becomes quite a big factor of the Colony Alliance series because of what's actually contained in it. Now I don't require this map, so I'm just going to remove the door here. Now as we're loading more of the city, I'm getting a bit more lag, so please excuse that if you're watching on the video. But obviously in here is where the dreaded artifact is stored. Now, originally, we weren't going to explore the idea of artifacts in this series, but when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, yes, we must do this, and thus we included it in here, using sort of monolith and Space Engineers to represent the artifact. We still don't really know what the artifacts do inside of a colony universe. We know they're connected to this ancient empire who built this city, and obviously the sort of dark forces are after them. I almost slipped up and said something else then, which would have been a spoiler, but certain forces are after them, such as the Remnant and the GDA and someone else, so, you know, it's pretty important, hence why RWI have to protect it. And one of the whole aspects about the series was RWI making the stance to not reveal his existence to the other allies of the Alliance, which causes the Alliance to break down. It's that very sort of espionage thing, and seeing alliances fail, and sort of that political intrigue there going about it. Mutiny in that sort of form, I really like exploring that side of things. I very much draw inspiration from The Expanse and very many TV shows to sort of bring that to life. Also Battlestar Galactica as well. Anyway, let's head back up top and we'll explore the other hangar tower and the labs. So I'm now in the main atrium sort of area. Obviously, we've got the RWI signs up here as well. I believe we've got the new one as well. This is the new logo for Redwood, which we upgraded. And then we've also got the traditional Redwood Industries one down here as well. I like using both at the minute. It's a bit like in Star Trek where they still use the old logo and the new logo and stuff like that. I find it really cool personally. Now, if we head over this way, we're going for sort of a glass tunnel here as well. It's sustained a bit of damage here now through the fights. But this is one of the main laboratory buildings. Again, much designed and inspirational from Stargate Atlantis. Ideally because they had those secret labs everywhere, like like Rodney had his own lab, medical service and such, but it's really cool to check out what we can explore in this tower. Evidently this alien civilization or ancient civilization would be researching stuff as they are quite more technologically advanced. To do this, we're using the I think it's HRS mod. All these mods are linked in the Discord, by the way, so do go check them out. We're using this mod here, and it's looking really cool. I'll also link the mod collection in the Discord, in the video description, so you can go check it out as well. We've got pipes running around here. I think this is like a late edition. I don't remember adding these, but I think we've got weapon testing upstairs. Again, it's been months since I've actually ventured into this world properly, so I'm sort of showing off. Oh yeah, we had these laser cannons up here. Unfortunately, these never worked properly. The mod just didn't want to work. So also we would use these for the ancient weapons. But we sort of like built it as a weapon testing facility, and it looked really cool. Yeah, also this building gets blown up in episode 28, I think, or part of it gets blown up. So yeah, it didn't survive very well, unfortunately. That section leads to a dead door. I think there's a dead door. It shouldn't lead anywhere, actually. Yeah, it's a dead door, literally. So for some of the city, obviously, we didn't want to put rooms everywhere because that would look a bit weird. So we led to dead doors and such. But let's go check out the other hangar tower over here. Some of you might find this particularly interesting. This was one of our main hangars we explored as well. And also we used this sort of 3D printing lab. And the idea behind here is like bigger sort of shuttles and maybe a Corvette could fit in here. I could easily envision, and this is not a hint by the way, but it was an original plan for an Eclipse class Corvette to be included in Colony Alliances. You saw a bit of it in some of the promo art for the series. The idea was it would dock in here. It could definitely fit in here. The head would just be sticking out slightly, but still it's a hangar big enough to actually fit the Eclipse itself, or at least the ship which would be taking the place of the Eclipse. As you know, that sadly died. There's an upper area here including laboratories and things like that, including links to another section which we'll go and explore now. This is a tunnel section back to the main atrium, and it sort of goes underground here, and we can see through the rock face. The idea being that, you know, the ancient cities, I keep calling them ancients because obviously the race who built Atlantis are the ancients or Lanteans, whereas we go off this sort of ancient empire and as such for a story thing. It's a very cliche story thing, but every series uses the ancient idea. That is sci-fi overall, to be fair. Like Star Wars has its own version, like Raticatons and such, and your ancient force wielders. Stargate has them, Star Trek has them. Oh yeah, we broke the floor here, didn't we? Whoops. Anyway, this is sort of like a hangar command tower. So I sort of envision this as like flight ops in a sense. So these people in here would manage like, you know, comings and goings of space transport ships and cargo. That's why we've got so many computers and stuff in this room. I think we forgot to add the stairs in here. Oh, it's over here. We forgot to add it there. Somebody probably rebuilt that. Here is sort of like a storeroom, hence why we've got old reactors and such. But we explored this in like one of the first episodes we actually found the city in. Did we find episode 5 or 6? Something like that. I can't remember now. Like I said, it's been so long since we actually did Colony Alliance. It's almost been like a year or such now. It's been so different like on this journey. Okay, if we venture over here, we're going to start going into a command tower. Now, the command tower is somewhat hollow in a sense, because we didn't have enough space. We had some space. We didn't have enough stuff to fill the entire tower, and it would have taken up blocks. So we filled a sort of midsection here to have these other areas. Now, there is a sort of stairwell area leading down here. This goes down and also connects with the other tower, where we've got things like the main, or like the secondary reactor, or auxiliary reactor, I should call it. So if we go in here, there we go. It's sort of warning, heat damage, such like that. And we've got the other sort of reactor hidden in here, which is really cool. So this is hidden in the base of the other tower. So if I go and show you here, these two towers are linked. So we should be in here, roughly. Oh, we're up here, yeah. So part of the tower is hollow for the sake of it. So we're stood in the room. Here we go. Here's me. Hello, Jack. I'm not wearing my command skin at this point, but oh well. So we go. Now, in terms of hollowness, we have got a bit going through here, which leads up to a sort of crew command section. It's sort of fallen apart. And we've got more areas around here as well, which are really cool. I won't show you all of these because they are sort of mimicked from the other side. The idea was like another sort of command area. Then we sort of got a crew ops area around here. We've got bunk beds and such. And then we've also got a bit down here, which is more like command crew. So we had like personal quarters and such. Here we go. And we've also got a balcony out section here. I very much like Stargate Atlantis when we had the balcony area, so I had to include one. Also at top here, which we'll explore in a minute, we do have a comm relay section. Yes, the dish does move. I do love moving antenna dishes. So we'll explore that in just a minute. Cool, so as we're venturing in here, we do actually have access to one of the cool mods that's introduced. Now, unfortunately, I think it's working. Basically, these are the Altarian transporters. If you watch Stargate Atlantis, you would know they have these sort of things. They're basically upgraded ring platforms. You step in and you can be transported. So we're going to go straight to the control room. Boom. So here we are in the main control room. Now, this is in the command tower, and it is awesome. I really enjoyed designing this and having a lot of fun with it. Because basically, we want like a central command tower for the sake of the whole city and what's going on here. So we designed a sort of like mini CIC area. We had the hologram tables. I don't think this, if I turn this on, it might lag us to death because I think it's got a hologram on it. I can't remember. Or it might not. It might pop up in a second. I can't remember. Either way, the idea is that we want these nice sort of panoramic views. We can see the Olympus out there. Yep, the hologram's turned on. I've just lagged to death. Oh, it's got a hologram of a Remnant helicarrier. Fun fact, some of you might remember the Remnant helicarrier was used in Planet Wars, which might give a hint away to some story elements. So, yeah, talk about yourself. Talk amongst yourselves about that. Anyway, so there we've got the RDB Olympus, which is the helicarrier turned up, along with Zhang He, just all serves reinforcements. But the inspiration for the command tower did, again, come from Atlantis, but also I really want these sort of panoramic views. So we can stand here in the window and see what's going on. We can see what's up to space there, where the fleet would be, but we can also see down to the sort of lakeside things and what's going on. I really like these sort of things in Space Engineers, where we can explore stuff like this. I love it personally. Now, another thing as well, as I was just trying to remember what to show you, we do actually have the conference room up here as well. And we don't really get to use this much, unfortunately, because we just didn't really do much with it. But it's really cool to actually have this section and, you know, have planning meetings. It will be shown in episode 31, I believe. Yeah, and 32. I think it's in those two episodes. These are cinematic episodes that I'm writing, so do be on the lookout for them, as they are rather cool. But yeah, it's just a nice, really another cool section to actually include, so I'm really happy we got that. We do have small balconies on this level as well. If I hop over the railing here and onto the wall, we actually include these side little balconies. These provide a bit of use. A, it's really cool to look over. Also, Mr. Chaos will sit here and fire rocket launchers, so it's all like really cool to actually explore. Now, if I go this way, we can show you more of the command tower as well. But we'll be venturing around here. We actually also designed this sort of stairway thing. A, just access lower levels, but B, also just get around. The inclusion of the Altair transporters was just made to make life a bit simpler instead of having to run around the whole thing. We've got sort of more science labs and stuff down here. These looking really cool. And it's all meant to be flashing lights and such here, but with a bit of its damage currently. You see in episode 28, I believe. Yeah, 28. A lot of the city's damaged due to the CNL outbreak and rebellion. This map is just before that occurs. Obviously, at this point, the CNL troopers are imprisoned or detained due to the safety of them and such. Now, there was meant to be blast doors here for a while, there still is, but A, it's meant to hide off another part of it, but also it's sort of lower levels of the city, which were damaged over time, and as such have, you know, not been repaired. But you can see here sort of like ventilation, and think of it as like Jeffrey tubes in Star Trek. We can sort of venture down here. There was meant to be a spinning fan, but we turned it off after a while because it's just lagging people to death. If we go down here again, we eventually venture straight back to this stairwell. Boom. And obviously people could either go that way to the hangar area or come over here and access the command bit. So I believe this will take us to the atrium. Boom, there we go. See, we actually put the signpost on this one, but we've got... and here we go, we're back in the main atrium. Lower levels down there. We've got the old transporter mod there as well. This also does lead upstairs, but doesn't actually lead anywhere because it's a secret staircase. Up here, we also have the link to the hangar area and there's some screens and such, which is really cool. So if I lead back out here to where we started, we've got the three signposts of the Alliance, Redwood in the middle, RCSP, and we've also got CNL. I'll quickly let you guys here have a look at these, as I know some of you who are really keen for detail love these things. One of the really cool aspects of Colony Alliances was we was able to make more lore for all three factions, and it's something we'll continue to do as we end off the series and move to the next phase of the sort of the Colony universe storytelling with new series and new content and such, which is really cool. So up there, Olympus again, and that is mostly your tour of the ancient city. In terms of external details, there isn't much I can focus on from the outside. Obviously, my spectator is slightly lagging in a minute, but we did build these sort of things into the actual mountain itself. If I go in here, you can sort of see the structures which are built in here. Some of them are very much built straight in, others are just sort of like, you know, skeleton crews and such like that, but it's looking really cool regardless. Yeah, I'm really proud of how we designed certain things like this. These weapons actually hide inside the thing. I'm not sure if I can show you at the minute, but I think basically... yeah, there we go. So we designed these. A couple of our community moderators and film crew helped design these, and they look really, really cool. There we go. So it sort of slowly hides in there, and is it broken or is it going to work? Pistons and rotors and Space Engineers, yeah, it's broken currently. They're a bit hit or miss, so sometimes they work, sometimes they won't. But the idea was, like, the city was meant to look defenseless at the start, up until Redwood came along and the Alliance started adding their own weapons, but eventually we discovered the city does have weapons, and they should reveal themselves. For an example of this, we do have the big cannons coming out of here as well, so these do pop in here. See, there's pistons extending. I think there was meant to be a few more, but they might have broken by now, so I can't remember where they are. There was definitely meant to be bigger laser platforms at some point. As such, as some built in here. So there you go. You can see some hidden through here as such. They're really cool. Oh, here we go. These big ones. These can actually come back in as well. Obviously, one's destroyed here. But you can see the sort of pistons and such around it. It's really cool. So the idea was it's meant to be like a defenseless city. Then boom, the Remnant attack is not defenseless. We can get things active. As such, the city has its own shield generators and such, which is really, really cool. So hopefully you've all enjoyed the tour of the ancient city here inside of Space Engineers Colony Alliances. Hopefully you all are enjoying the series if you watched it so far. We are currently working on the next couple of episodes for it and wrapping a series up and finishing it. The reason was we sort of took a break from it and wanted to do some other things for a while. Creating these high sort of like cinematic and well-written Space Engineers series is very, very time demanding and very resource intensive. As such, creating big cinematic episodes and getting film crew members together in like the 30s, essentially, like 30 people running around and coordinating all that, is very stressful, not just for me, but also like the voice actors that take place, the crew as well, and various other things like that. It is a very stressful environment. So as you can imagine, taking some time off is just needed eventually, especially after you've done colony survival, wars, loss, alliances, and a few things in between as such. So we'll finish off alliances and then we'll move on to something else as well, which is really cool. If you want any of the mods which have been used in this series, the link is down below in the video description, or can be found by the Discord server as well. I look forward to you guys venturing around and actually finding it. For now, I've been Captain Jack. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of the city down below in the comment section. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.